Hey guys and gals on YouTube, how y'all doing? Dave Boyd here with set 7261 from 2005. This is our first clone turbo tank. I don't have the minifigures installed. It just gives a very gentle, it's the front of it. All this rotates downward. It has the springs, and you can see it's very hollow, as was typical of that era. They went for the larger, more massive sets, sometimes sacrificing strength, sometimes sacrificing durability, and definitely there's some interesting choices here. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the front. Nice, pretty good for first-hand. Nice use of trans colors. Just overall good-looking vehicle. Axles still look a little spindly, but this one I think looks pretty good. Anyways, I don't have the figures handy, so access, you just drop this open in the front. There's a seat, and here's a feature that I'm not sure if I really understand it, but there's a stand here, 1x2 plates. What would you call them? Yeah, 1x2 modified. And you can close this back up, and essentially you can raise this up so he can look out this mini hatch here. It's kind of an interesting play feature. It's been showcased before, but you have to remember 2005, where it was still the beginning of the Star Wars, and a lot of the sets were still built as play sets, and this is very much a play set. All right, now these pieces are getting old, so I'm going to put a little pressure on top here. If you notice the details here on the side, the red does go all the way straight through, but it's a lot larger. But technically, there should be like a rocket launcher or something here, right? All right, let's bring this down. Now, for carrying around, it has this, looks almost like something from Hoth. Barrels elevate. It's a pretty good little turret. Don't mind it. Got some nice space, use of space inside, but that's all that's really there. But you got the, once again, trans colors on the grills, and you got almost like caution look. And there is a little bit of Technic here. Mostly you get the shape. Right here, it's actually unusable. It just gets the shape. There's not even a floor in there. Look at that. And you can see why I'm supporting this. This piece will literally pull loose. And this is why this is like the 5th time I've videoed this. This usually just sits on a shelf. This neck area, as I want to call it, does have a very cool build, which is a nice use of these type of sets. And I think a lot of people just wanted this was not repeated on the most recent Republic Juggernaut. Now, let's get to what we may have called the front. Because in some ways, when you look at one of these, it makes sense that this should actually be the front. Once again, we've got our weapons up here. We don't have the headlights, so maybe the other side is the front. And the turret here, I really like the use of this. This, I think, works best because it's single barrel in the source material, too. Just rotates. Now, this does lift up here to give you access to the single seat. There's some weapons, and these will tilt down. But that's, I mean, it works great, and it gives you total access. But I think it was really mostly just get the shape. That's why it's made like that. But there it is. Nice, pretty good looking build. I'm going to set this to the side because we know it's fragile. People talk about the Republic Juggernaut as being fragile. That is actually really fragile. Part of it is the age, and part of it's just the very design. However, there is no denying this set here. See what I mean? There's no denying that this set is still larger than this one. I mean, what a difference. Now, the cool thing about these is they both have a crow's nest. Let's compare it. This one does pull straight up, doesn't rotate, and you can actually pull it past and it's gone. 2005 7261, crow's nest comes straight up. By the way, it's got a towel on top. So what you can do is you can kind of set your minifigure down. I'm gonna put his hands out so he holds the edges. Just my own comical view. But this comes all the way up. You can't, it's almost like a carry handle, but don't do it. It'll pull the top off. But you can rotate it, and there's a point where you can lock it. It'll stay upright. Pretty cool. Now, top view of this tank. This is one of the design features. I don't really care for these sort of sliding hatches, but we'll see the dark elements of dark red, and the telephone pieces. So this part here, it does look bad, but I like this turret better than this turret here. But yeah, this drops back down. Now the 2016 had a crank up way it was done, but you know. So there it is. This is actually pretty sturdy. It's brick built. It has a lot of the same features. The brick built wheels definitely look better. I mean, it looks more like source material. But this is where it all started, and this is where a lot of the criticism is. The turbo tanks are large, and they're just, you know, we definitely feel downsized with this, especially for the price. But I do like this. It's nice and sturdy. It's more closed up. It's way more detailed. And frankly, I don't really have a problem. It's just probably the price for the piece count. All right, sit down here, and I'll remember to put the crow's nest in later. Anyways, appreciate the views out there. Y'all take care. Till next time. Ciao.